Hey guys, it's Star the Flippin' Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our channel at Flippin' Hippos. Today we are going to talk about bad advice. So I'm in a couple of Facebook groups for resellers, and I noticed this trend where bad advice is being given all the time. And it's not a big deal in the sense that most of us know better than to go buy Beanie Babies or black VHS Disney tapes. But there's new sellers every day. There's new sellers all the time. New to eBay, new to the Facebook groups, new to reselling in general, that come into these groups looking for advice, looking for help, looking for mentors. And when they see this bad advice, they might follow it. They might not understand that it's bad. They might believe it. A lot of times when someone is new to something and joins a group on Facebook of seasoned people at whatever they're new at, they tend to believe them. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Like, if I didn't know how to shoot a bow and arrow and I joined a bow and arrow shooting club here in Pittsburgh and I went to the park and met them and they were all seasoned bow and arrow shooters or fletchers or whatever they're called, and they told me how to do it, I would believe them and I would trust what they were telling me because they're supposed to be seasoned at it and they're supposed to be the experts. So my pet peeve, I guess, is when I see the same bad advice over and over again, and I feel bad because there's people that are going to believe it and do it, and you're sabotaging these new sellers when you do this. And I don't mean anyone in particular, but if you're purposely giving out bad information and bad advice, you are sabotaging someone else. And I don't agree with that. And if you're doing it to be a smartass and you think you're funny and you're not clear that you're being a smartass, I mean, because those of us that make the jokes all the time about I have Beanie Babies and black VHS Disney tapes, we know it's a joke and we're clearly joking around, but you have to make sure you're careful that the new sellers don't believe you. And on that note, I would like to add, I don't really sell Faded Glory, so if you ever see me say that I make my millions on Faded Glory, it's a joke. So I went into one of my smaller reseller groups that's a little more intimate. Most of us know each other in there. And I asked them to tell me the bad advice they see being given over and over again that they wish people wouldn't give. And so I have some notes here on my Post-it notes, and I'm just going to touch briefly on each one. So let's talk about canceling sales. You're going to see over and over again people are telling sellers to cancel sales for all different kinds of reasons. The buyer is being picky. The buyer has zero feedback. I miscalculated shipping. I don't have the item in stock. You should never, ever be canceling an order unless the buyer requested it. With the exception, if you do mistakenly list something you don't have or you can't find it, you can cancel as item out of stock, but it will ding your account. So what I suggest doing in that instance is just reach out to your buyer, let them know that you guys made a mistake and you're sorry, and then offer them the choice of choosing something else in your store. And whether you're going to offer them to choose two things or something a little more expensive or anything in that category, however you want to make it up to them and make it sound like, you know, we're making this up to you. So yeah, just apologize, offer to them, hey, you can pick out something else in our store, and if you don't want to, then we'll be glad to cancel your order and refund you. Most times they're going to say that they just wanted what they chose and they ask you to cancel, and you can cancel at buyer's request at that time, or they'll pick something different and you can send that to them. So no, you shouldn't be canceling sales for any reason other than the buyer requested. Even if you messed up the shipping, you're going to have to eat it. I mean, we all have in the beginning. And any other reasons, just nope. I've already kind of touched on the Beanie Babies and the Black Diamond VHSs. Don't buy them. Don't buy them. They are not a gold mine. They are not going to pay for your children's college tuitions. They are not going to pay for your retirement. You will see over and over again people talking about the Beanie Babies and the Black Diamond VHS, And most of the time it's just more seasoned sellers, veteran sellers, just joking around. Don't worry about buyers with zero feedback. I see all the time advice being given about, oh, don't sell to them. No, don't worry about it. Everybody was new at some point, and not everybody that's new is a bad person or a scammer. Everybody had to start somewhere. And other than that, sometimes when you see that they have zero feedback, it's because they don't have an eBay account and they're buying as a guest. And by that I mean, say like they're looking for something in particular, like a Nike running shorts, and they're not an eBay buyer, they don't have an eBay account, and they Google it. Google can give them a result that leads them to your eBay store, and they're gonna just sign on as a guest. They're not gonna have feedback, because some people don't want to create an account just to buy something that Google brought them to. So don't worry if they have zero feedback. Not everyone is a scammer. Oh my gosh, I could have a whole video just about this. How many times a day I see everyone that requests a return, everyone that doesn't have X amount of feedback, everyone that does this, everyone that does that. You would think that 99.999% of buyers are scammers. They're not. Not everyone is a scammer. There's bad buyers out there. There's liars, there's cheaters, and there's scammers, and you're going to encounter them. They're not like so rare that you're never going to see them. They're out there. We've dealt with them. But not every single person is a scammer. Some people are just weird or dumb or don't know what they're doing, but not everyone's a scammer. And then a lot of times I see this, and I don't know that people really mean it or if they're just saying it to be snarky. But sometimes when the newer sellers are a little frustrated and they're not quite growing as fast as they wanted to or selling as much as they want to, people are really rude and tell them just to quit and give up. Don't quit and give up. Not until you have to. And no, don't quit and give up. Rome wasn't built in a day. And this next one, I'm just going to touch on it briefly because it is a big point of contention in a lot of the groups, and you're going to have both sides of this. I'm just going to tell you, I think it's bad advice, and I don't think you should do it. Don't send stuff in food boxes. Don't reuse your cereal boxes. It's tacky. Like, don't reuse your food boxes to ship in. You can find free boxes behind the grocery store. You don't need to be... no. I mean, recycling and repurposing is good. And if you buy, like, bulk wine or bulk diapers or whatever, and those boxes you want to reuse, you know, as long as you flip them inside out, because you can't have writing on the outside according to USPS, that kind of recycling is fine. But I don't think you should be sending clothes in a used cereal box or any other kind of food box. That's just me. A lot of people agree with me, and a lot of people don't. And then don't be misusing your USPS postal supplies, please. So many people out there are like, oh, they don't care. Oh, we're not going to get caught. Okay, but it's just like when you break the speed limit or run a stop sign, or, you know, other things that you know are illegal and wrong, but you aren't really going to get caught for. That's up to you and your own morality. And if you're okay with being immoral and misusing things and doing illegal things, the things that are against the law, that's on you. I don't recommend it. And I will stand by my opinion, and a lot of other people share this opinion with me, that the reason the prices keep going up is because people keep misusing free supplies. So don't use your padded flats as bubble wrap inside of another package. Use your flat rates, your boxes, your envelopes, all those wonderful free supplies they give us to use for free. Use them the way you're supposed to, because they're not really free. We're paying for them ultimately. Prices go up and all that. So, you know, if you want to recycle, do it with tact, I guess, and don't misuse the USPS supplies. Then the other last two, partial refunds. No, do not. I have a whole video. I'll link it down below on giving partial refunds. I'm against it. And don't just refund people and let them keep the item if they're complaining. your policy should be for your business: return the item for a refund, or you don't get a refund. You don't get a partial, you don't get anything. If they want their money back, they need to be returning the item. They can be unhappy, they can be mad, they can say it's not as described, they can hem and haw and drag their feet. If they really don't want it and want their money back, they can send it back to you. There's no reason that anyone should complain enough that they get to keep their item and the money, because if they really didn't want the item, they'd be willing to send it back. I will link down below my whole video on partial refunds, and you can watch that if you'd like. So before I wrap this up real quick, let's go down this list one more time. Don't cancel sales unless it's at buyer's request. Don't buy Beanie Babies or VHS, the Black Diamond Disney VHS. Don't worry about people's zero feedback. Not everyone is a scammer. Don't quit and don't give up. Someone out there will help you. Don't be misusing the USPS free priority supplies. Repurpose and recycle with some tact. Don't give partial refunds, and don't refund them their money unless they return the item to you. Let me know how you feel down in the comments below, and do me a favor, if you like this video, smash the like button. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night.